Yeah, so true. I was listening to just this morning actually. Oh, you guys would like it. So I was listening to John Jones, and I don't know if you guys like him. He's a very polarizing.
I love him.
Yeah,
Dude.
I like what he's achieved for sure.
Love,
Hate. Yeah, that's every UFC fan though.
But like, yeah, it has to be. But like, dude, with him, it's just like, don't get it twisted. Like, he's the GOAT. There's no way. Like,
He's got a little bit of a steroid asterisk next to his name, but
Yes.
aside from that, whatever.
Yeah.
But he said something really cool because he's about to have this fight potentially coming up with Francis Ngannou, right?
Yes.
So Francis Ngannou is like heaviest hitting KO artist, baddest man on the planet kind of thing. John Jones is this like the GOAT, and he was like, I've already become so comfortable with that fight because I know that my worst case scenario is that this dude knocks me out and fractures some form of bone in my face or something. And he's like, I'm now comfortable with that thought, so I don't have fear because I'm already so comfortable with going, that could be the worst case scenario, and if that happens, I'm already at peace with it. And so now I know I've already won the fight. And I'm like, dude, what a savage. But it is interesting. I like that because you can put that filter on anything in life. Like, what's the worst case scenario of something? And obviously there's some scenarios where it's, very bad, like, and it can be very problematic. But most things in life, it's like the worst case scenario is absolutely not worth stressing, fearing, being anxious about, whatever it is, so.
that is wild. It's a bit. It's the process though to have that thought of, okay, this is the structure I want to use, but to actually get comfortable with that thought of him like fracturing my face. What's that process look like for him?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of meditation. I think that I was just talking about it's a lot of visualization, all of those things. I think it's just, for me, I'd call it renewing your mind, having your mind renewed, yeah, it's crazy.
So
What a monster. Yeah, I as someone who just wants to see him just like all these like years of just like, oh, I'm training, I'm building the heavyweight. I just want to see him get fed by like someone like Curtis Blades. Just like, I would just love to see that happen. Because I think they're saying if he doesn't fight Francis,
it'll be Curtis
it'll be
Blades.
Curtis.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, I love John, watching him in the octagon. I'm not obviously the biggest fan of a lot of his life outside, but I don't think many MMA fans are. I think MMA fans struggle to be a fan of him, but they want to be.
Exhibit A, dude.
I'm such a fan of the sport that I just want to see him.
I want to see greatness. My whole thing is, like, take the sport out of it. I love seeing greatness, and quite often sports is where you see greatness portrayed. So that's why, for me, like, I'm such a huge Israel Adesanya fan, such a huge Volkanovski fan, because these guys are so great with what they've done.
Insane,
and I want to see greatness.
Volk's the most mind-blowing human on the planet to me. Like, well, that's a stretch, but he's up there. He's a top 10 for sure.
Well, he makes you feel that way, at least, when you consume him.
Like, what he did in that Ortega fight is just...
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? And he's talking about after, and he's like, that belt for me right now is how I provide as a father, as a husband, and like context, he's like wrapped up in the deepest choke by Ortega, who's like he's T-City, man. Like, he's the king of subs.
What is it again?
Whatever
he does.
And he, like, man, he's got him wrapped up, and Volk's thinking these thoughts. He's going, I'm not going out. There's no way. Like, no one on the roster doesn't tap to that thing or go out and something.
Let alone, like, anyone on the planet.
Yeah. Seriously.
That mentality is so impressive.
It's so mental. And now he's fighting arguably, like, one of the hardest matchups from a camp. Like, Islam's going to spend $2-3 million on that camp with the greatest possible resources on planet Earth, with every single advantage possible in terms of size, attributes, all of those things. And Volk's like, I'm about to become the double champ. I'm like, dude. And I believe it. I'm like, dude, you're going to win.
You know that he believes it as well.
Like, freaking someone timestamp this right now, or like mark it, like, Volk will win. Yeah.
I have you know how there's sometimes, you got that slither? No doubt in my mind, Volk's got the double champ.
Clip it. It's happening.
Done.
That's it.
That is so much. Oh yeah, Volkanovski. He's such an inspiration. Do you draw a lot of inspiration from athletes or other people?
I actually do. Yeah, I think. Like, I was saying this to you yesterday when we were ice bathing, because Kyle was like, "Oh, what goes in your mind when you ice bath?" And I'm like weird. I get weird with some things, like mentally. Like, I don't share this too much to people, but like, my driving force often is very like, I like putting myself in an uncomfortable situation, and my inner, I guess, rhetoric or my mindset is like, I am getting off on the fact that not many people would want to do this, and I'm doing it, therefore I'm better than you. But I don't live my life as though like I'm better than you at all. But it's my internal driving force going like, dude, I'm in the gym right now and I'm like going harder than anyone in here, and for me that's like such, like, it's a me comparing myself to me in a weird way. Like, it doesn't sound like it is, but it's like, it's how it makes me go harder.
No, I'm the exact same, man. I'm the exact same. There's been so many times where I've been at the pool swimming and no one else is there because it's raining and it's nighttime, and I'm like, where are all these pussies at? I'm the guy. And it's not, there's no external ego. There's no, if I see someone, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm better than you.
Totally.
But it's, my objective right now is to get in the pool and do laps. How is that going to happen? However it happens, it happens.
Whatever it takes to get me in
the pool, and what it is me telling myself I'm better than everyone else.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's only something little, like it's only you working out at the gym, or it's you doing an ice bath for 10 minutes, or it's you going to do laps in the middle of winter, and it's just that thought of like, I can do anything for 30 minutes. I can do anything for 5 minutes. It's fine. Like, so it's like obviously always want to remain humble and walk in humility and all of that, but yeah, that's my like inner thing, and I feel like I drew a lot of inspiration from guys like Volkanovski, guys like McGregor in the early days, because there's something about, like, I have so much respect for those guys because they're walking in with the weight of the world on their shoulders, with millions of people worldwide, 40,000 fans screaming in a stadium, like people hating on them or loving them, all this pressure to walk in and go, you've just trained 8-week intense camp, 16-week intense camp, whatever it is, everything's on the line for you right now. It's not like a soccer game where it's like, oh, we lost, we'll play the same team again in 8 weeks. It's like you're about to get your skull caved in, like it's chess at the highest form of strategy, but also your body's on the line, and they're able to carry this pressure in such a way. I know, it wigs me out, bro, because I'm like, you guys are like it's just, I don't know, there's something, maybe it's like a male thing or something, like primal. Innately in us. Yeah, it's primal, just fighting another dude, which is so weird. Like, it's weird that we enjoy sitting down being like watching.
Yeah, consuming it.
I think it's just the level that, I think just like having whatever they have, there's so much on the line.
Yeah, 100%. It's the pressure.
The way they handle it.
It's the way they handle it. And I think as a man, you don't want to be known as a man that can't handle pressure. You don't want to be known as a man that can't deal with commitment, that can't deal with responsibility, or has a small capacity. Like, that's not what makes a man great. Like, you want to be great. Every woman wants to be great. Like, all of those things. And so I think you see these guys in the epitome of pressure, walking out, facing it and dominating. And you're just like, how can I not be inspired by that? How can I take that and apply that to my companies, to my relationships, to the way I carry myself as a man every day, like all those sorts of things. Like, it sounds so funny to vocalize it like that because it's me running a company, or you boys doing your potty, and everything's so different to Volkanovski walking out and beating up T-City for 25 minutes. It's so different, but it's so similar in terms of application as well.
How do you feel like you apply that for your business?
Just it's mentality. It's all just mentality. I think it's so much of life is self-belief and just being able to believe in yourself. And I think we were talking about this earlier. It's like, what are your driving forces? Like, are you doing things and making decisions out of fear? Are you making decisions out of love? Are you making decisions out of like, could this equate to greatness? So it's that. So I think I see, like, even Volkanovski, like, he's a humble man. Like, he's not walking around like,
He has the line, he says, I forget I'm the champ because when I get home, I'm just dad.
Yeah.
And I'm walking around town with my daughters, and
it's so cool.
People are like, what's up, champ? And he's like, oh, they're talking to me because I'm champ, but at home, I'm just dad.
Exactly. Yeah. And I love
so humble.
Yeah, like Leon Edwards said it the other day when he won the belt. He's like, the belt doesn't belong to anyone. Like, it's a mirage. Like, it's a mirage. It's not. Yeah, it's not anything. It's all just mentality, like self-belief.